Tonight, before sleep fully takes you, something quiet is already happening. You are not just lying still in a dark room. You are moving, carried gently through a vast and silent structure that has been in motion long before the first oceans formed on Earth. Above you, beyond the fading edge of the night sky, beyond the distant stars that seem fixed and calm, the Milky Way is slowly turning, not as a solid object, but as a flowing system of billions of stars, clouds of gas, drifting dust, and unseen forces that shape everything without ever being seen. It stretches across space so wide that even light, traveling faster than anything else in existence, would need around 100,000 years to cross from one side to the other. And yet, despite this unimaginable size, you are already inside it, moving with it, without feeling even the slightest motion. The Earth beneath you rotates quietly, completing one full turn every 24 hours, while at the same time it orbits the Sun at incredible speed. But even that is only a small part of a much larger journey, because the Sun itself, carrying Earth and every other planet, is moving through the galaxy at roughly 220 kilometers per second, taking around 225 million years to complete just one orbit around the galactic center. This means that every moment of your life, every memory, every breath has happened during a tiny fraction of a single galactic year. When dinosaurs walked across ancient lands, the Sun was in a completely different part of the galaxy, surrounded by different stars, under a sky that would not look exactly the same as the one above you now. And still, the motion continues, smooth and uninterrupted, like a current so vast it feels like stillness. As your breathing begins to slow, your awareness drifts outward, and you begin to sense that the galaxy is not a finished object. It is still forming, still evolving, still gathering material from the space around it. Thin streams of hydrogen gas drift in from the intergalactic medium, slowly pulled inward by gravity, becoming part of the galaxy's structure. Over time, this gas may cool, collapse, and ignite into new stars, continuing a process that has been happening for billions of years. And within the spiral arms, those faint, glowing bands that curve gently through the galaxy, this process is happening constantly. Cold, dense clouds of gas begin to contract under their own gravity, forming small pockets that grow denser and hotter over time. Deep within those regions, pressure builds until nuclear fusion begins, and a new star is born. At first, it is hidden, wrapped in the cloud that formed it. But gradually, it begins to shine, pushing away the surrounding gas, illuminating the region around it in soft light. These stellar nurseries are scattered across the galaxy, quietly creating new sources of light that will shine for millions or even billions of years. And as stars are born, others are reaching the ends of their lives, returning material back into space, allowing the cycle to continue. Nothing is wasted. Everything becomes part of something else. Even the atoms within your body were once part of stars that lived and faded long ago, scattered across space, and gathered again over time into new forms. You are not separate from this galaxy. You are made from it. And as you rest now, your thoughts slowing, your body becoming heavier, you begin to feel that connection more clearly. The galaxy is not something far away. It surrounds you, holds you, carries you gently through space without effort. It does not rush, it does not stop. It simply continues, and you continue with it, drifting softly into a deeper and quieter state of rest. As you drift a little deeper now, the quiet motion you sensed before begins to unfold into something richer, something layered with history so vast it feels almost weightless. The Milky Way you are resting within did not begin as the calm, structured spiral it appears to be today. Long ago, before its graceful arms stretched across space, it was forming from smaller pieces, fragments of matter gathering under gravity, slowly assembling into something larger. Even now, that process has not truly ended. Across the outer regions of the galaxy, faint streams of stars stretch like delicate ribbons through the darkness. These are not random patterns. They are the remains of smaller galaxies that once moved independently, drawn inward over billions of years, gradually pulled apart by tidal forces until their stars were no longer bound together. Instead of disappearing, those stars were woven into the structure of the Milky Way itself, becoming part of its halo and outer disk, carrying with them a silent record of where they once belonged. If you could observe these streams clearly, you would see that they curve and wrap around the galaxy, tracing long arcs that reveal past encounters, like footprints left behind by events too slow to witness directly. And somewhere, even now, another such encounter is quietly unfolding. A small satellite galaxy drifts too close, its structure beginning to stretch as gravity gently pulls on it. Over millions of years, its stars will spread out, forming another faint stream, another memory added to the Milky Way's history. And as your awareness settles into this idea, you begin to notice that even individual stars carry these stories within their motion. Most stars in the galaxy orbit in the same general direction, moving along with the rotating disk. But not all of them follow this shared path. Some stars travel in highly tilted orbits, rising far above and dipping far below the galactic plane, while others move in directions that seem almost opposite to the rest. These stars are not originally from here. They are remnants of those absorbed galaxies, still following trajectories shaped by their past, quietly revealing that the Milky Way is not just a single structure, but a collection of many histories combined into one. And deeper within the galaxy, closer to its hidden center, something even more profound exists. A region of space where gravity becomes so strong that it shapes everything around it in extreme ways. At the core lies an object so dense, so compact, that not even light can escape its pull once it crosses a certain boundary. We cannot see it directly, yet we know it is there because of the way nearby stars move. They orbit this unseen center at incredible speeds, completing paths in just years or decades, something that would normally take millions of years elsewhere in the galaxy. Occasionally, clouds of gas drift too close to this central region. As they approach, they begin to spiral inward, stretching and heating, glowing brightly for a brief moment before disappearing completely beyond the point from which nothing returns. And yet, despite its immense power, this central presence is not constantly active. Most of the time, it remains quiet, influencing the galaxy gently over long timescales, acting as a deep anchor at the heart of everything. But not all interactions lead inward. Some result in the opposite effect. There are rare moments when stars pass close enough to this central region that their paths are dramatically altered. If two stars are bound together and approach too closely, one may be captured, pulled inward and lost, while the other is flung outward at extraordinary speed. These stars become what are known as hypervelocity stars, traveling so fast that they can escape the galaxy entirely. They leave behind everything they once knew, moving alone into the vast darkness between galaxies, carrying with them a quiet fragment of the Milky Way's story. And as this thought settles gently in your mind, your breathing slows even more, and the sense of motion becomes softer again. The galaxy is not static. It is not simple. It is a place of continuous transformation, shaped by countless interactions, both gentle and extreme, unfolding over timescales so vast they feel almost timeless. And even now, without effort, without awareness, you are part of that motion, carried forward through a structure that is always changing, always evolving, and never in a hurry. As you drift deeper into this quiet awareness, the galaxy begins to reveal something even more subtle, something that cannot be seen, yet shapes everything you have already begun to imagine. Because the Milky Way, for all its visible beauty, is not held together by what you can see alone. If you could measure only the stars, the glowing clouds of gas, and the dust drifting between them, it would not be enough. The outer regions of the galaxy move too quickly. Their speed should be strong enough to break free from the pull of gravity, to drift outward into the vast darkness beyond. And yet, they do not. They remain bound, moving in wide, steady orbits, as if guided by something hidden. This is where the deeper structure of the galaxy begins to emerge. Surrounding it, extending far beyond the visible edge, is an enormous halo of unseen matter. It does not shine, it does not absorb or reflect light in any way we can directly detect. And yet, its presence is undeniable. Its gravity holds the galaxy together, providing the mass needed to keep those distant stars from escaping. Without it, the Milky Way would slowly unravel, its outer regions dissolving into intergalactic space. But with it, everything remains in balance, every orbit maintained, every path gently guided. You cannot see this structure, but you are within it, just as every star, every cloud, every planet is. And as this thought settles, your awareness shifts once more, moving inward toward the dense central regions of the galaxy. Here, stars are packed closer together, their paths more complex, influenced not only by the overall gravity of the galaxy, but also by the presence of their neighbors. Motion here is not simple, it is layered, constantly adjusting as countless gravitational influences interact over time. At the very center lies that silent and powerful presence, a supermassive concentration of mass that shapes everything around it. Nearby stars move along tight, rapid orbits, tracing invisible paths that reveal its influence. Some complete their orbits in just a few years, traveling at speeds that would be unimaginable in the outer regions of the galaxy. And occasionally, as gas drifts too close, it begins to spiral inward, forming a glowing disk of heated material before disappearing beyond a boundary from which nothing can return. Yet even here, in this region of extreme forces, there is no chaos in the way we might expect. There is structure. There is order. Everything follows the rules set by gravity, moving in ways that can be predicted, even if they are difficult to observe directly. And as your thoughts begin to move outward again,
you start to notice something else about the galaxy's shape. From a distance, it is often imagined as a perfect spiral, evenly balanced, symmetrical in its form. But in reality, it is far more complex. The disk is not flat. It bends gently, rising on one side and dipping on the other, like a slow wave frozen across tens of thousands of light years. This subtle distortion is not random. It is shaped by interactions, by the gravitational influence of nearby galaxies, by the distribution of unseen matter, by forces that continue to act over immense spans of time. The Milky Way is not a rigid structure. It is flexible, responsive, constantly adjusting itself as it moves through space. And within this structure, stars follow paths that are far from identical. Some move in nearly circular orbits, tracing smooth, steady routes around the center. Others follow elongated paths, drifting far from the galactic plane before returning again, rising and falling in slow, graceful arcs that take millions of years to complete. These motions are not chaotic. They are records, silent evidence of past interactions, of gravitational influences that have shaped each star's journey over time.
Even our own sun follows such a path, gently oscillating above and below the galactic plane as it orbits the center, completing one full cycle of this vertical motion over tens of millions of years. It is a movement so slow, so smooth, that it feels like stillness. Yet it is always there, part of the larger rhythm of the galaxy. And between all of this motion lies another invisible structure, a network of magnetic fields that thread through the galaxy, guiding the movement of charged particles, shaping the behavior of gas and dust in ways that are almost impossible to see directly. These fields are weak, far weaker than anything you would notice. Yet across such vast distances, they influence how matter gathers, how clouds form, how stars are born. And as your breathing becomes slower, more even, you begin to feel how all of these elements come together. Visible and invisible, motion and stillness, structure and change. The galaxy is not one thing. It is many layers, all moving together in quiet balance. And you are within it, not separate, not outside, but carried along with everything else, drifting gently through a vast system that does not rush, does not pause, and does not need to be understood, to be felt. As your thoughts continue to soften, the galaxy begins to reveal one of its quietest and most profound patterns. The way it creates and renews itself without ever rushing, without ever stopping. Within the Milky Way, there are vast regions where nothing seems to be happening at all. These are the cold molecular clouds, enormous structures made mostly of hydrogen, stretching across tens or even hundreds of light years. They are so diffuse that if you could pass through them, you might not even notice they were there. And yet, hidden within these calm and silent clouds lies the beginning of something extraordinary. Over time, gravity begins its patient work. It does not pull everything inward at once. Instead, it acts slowly, gathering matter into slightly denser pockets. These regions grow gradually, attracting more gas, becoming heavier, more concentrated. As they collapse under their own weight, something subtle begins to change. The temperature rises, pressure increases, and deep within these forming cores, the conditions become just right for a new process to begin. Nuclear fusion ignites. A star is born. Not in a sudden flash, not in an explosive moment, but as a quiet awakening,
hidden at first within the cloud that formed it. Slowly, as it gathers strength, it begins to push outward, clearing away the surrounding gas and revealing its light to the galaxy. This process is happening all the time in countless places across the spiral arms, forming clusters of stars that emerge together from the same cloud. For a while, these stars remain close, moving as a group, sharing the same origin. But the galaxy is not still. Over millions of years, the gravitational pull of nearby stars and the overall motion of the galaxy begin to separate them. Their paths slowly diverge, stretching the cluster apart until its members are scattered across vast distances, no longer obviously connected, though they share the same beginning.
Even our own sun was once part of such a cluster, formed alongside many other stars that are now spread throughout the galaxy, impossible to identify without careful measurement. And as stars live their lives, the galaxy prepares for what comes next. Massive stars, the brightest and most energetic, burn their fuel quickly, living only a few million years before reaching their end. When they do, they release enormous amounts of energy into the surrounding space, sending waves through the interstellar medium. These waves travel outward, compressing nearby gas clouds, sometimes triggering the formation of new stars. In this way, the end of one star becomes the beginning of others. It is not a sudden cycle, not a perfect loop, but a continuous flow where matter is constantly being reshaped and reused. Smaller stars, like our Sun, follow a different path. They burn more slowly, shining steadily for billions of years before gradually changing, expanding, and eventually shedding their outer layers. What remains is a dense core, slowly cooling over time, drifting quietly through the galaxy like a fading ember. And even these remnants are not the end of the story. The material they release becomes part of the interstellar medium once again, mixing with gas and dust, ready to take part in future generations of stars and planets. And between all of this, the space itself is not empty. It is filled with fine particles of dust, tiny grains of carbon, and other elements that play a crucial role in the galaxy's evolution. This dust can block light, hiding entire regions from view, but it also helps gas cool, making it easier for new stars to form. What appears as darkness is often a place where something is quietly beginning. And as your breathing becomes slower, your thoughts lighter, you begin to feel the calm within this endless process. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is truly lost. Everything becomes part of something else. The galaxy does not rush its creations. It allows them to form, to change, to return, all in their own time. Even now, somewhere within these vast clouds, a new star is beginning its life, while somewhere else, another is quietly reaching its end. And between those moments, the Milky Way continues its gentle, endless rhythm, carrying everything forward, including you, as you drift deeper into rest. As you drift further into stillness, the brighter regions of the galaxy begin to fade into the distance, and something quieter, older, and far more expansive begins to surround you. You are no longer moving through the familiar spiral arms, where stars are densely scattered like glowing islands in a cosmic ocean. Instead, you begin to sense the outer structure of the Milky Way, a region so vast and faint that it is rarely imagined in detail. This is the galactic halo, an immense, nearly spherical extension of the galaxy that stretches far beyond the visible disk, reaching into the deep darkness of intergalactic space. It does not shine brightly. It does not reveal itself easily. And yet, it holds some of the oldest and most important clues about the galaxy's past. Here, the stars are scattered across enormous distances, so far apart that the space between them feels almost endless. These stars move along long, sweeping orbits, rising high above the galactic plane before slowly descending again, tracing paths that can take billions of years to complete. Their motion is not aligned with the organized rotation of the disk. Instead, it feels ancient, shaped by a time when the galaxy itself was still forming, when structure was less defined and everything was still settling into place. Many of these stars are incredibly old, some of the oldest in the entire galaxy. They formed when the universe was still young, before multiple generations of stars had enriched space with heavier elements. Because of this, they contain very little beyond hydrogen and helium, the simplest building blocks of matter. In their faint light, there is a quiet record of an earlier universe, one that existed before galaxies fully developed their modern forms. And drifting among these ancient stars are dense, compact groups known as globular clusters, tightly bound collections of hundreds of thousands of stars that have remained together for billions of years. These clusters orbit the galaxy like distant companions, moving through the halo in stable paths that have barely changed over time. They are like living fossils, preserving the conditions of the early universe, carrying with them a silent memory of the galaxy's earliest stages. And as your awareness expands, you begin to sense that beyond even these visible objects lies something far greater, something that defines the true size and mass of the Milky Way. Surrounding everything is an enormous halo of unseen matter, extending far beyond the reach of light. It does not emit radiation. It does not interact with ordinary matter in ways that can be directly observed. And yet, it outweighs everything you can see combined. This invisible structure provides the gravitational framework that holds the entire galaxy together, ensuring that its outer stars remain bound instead of drifting away into the vast emptiness beyond. You cannot see it, but you are moving within it, just as every star, every cloud, every planet is. And as you drift through this quiet region, you begin to notice how different it feels compared to the inner galaxy. There are no bright clusters of new deformed stars here, no glowing nebulae lighting up the darkness. Instead, there is space, vast and calm, with only faint points of light marking the presence of distant stars. Some of these stars follow unusual paths, tilted at steep angles, moving in directions that seem disconnected from the rest of the galaxy. These are not stars that formed here. They are remnants of smaller galaxies that were absorbed long ago, their original structures dissolved, but their motion preserved. Their orbits still carry the memory of those ancient encounters, tracing paths that reveal a history written not in light, but in motion. And somewhere within this immense halo, there may be objects even more difficult to imagine. Planets that no longer orbit any star, drifting alone through the darkness. These wandering worlds were once part of planetary systems, bound to stars, much like Earth is bound to the Sun. But over time, through gravitational interactions or distant disturbances, they were ejected, sent into the vast emptiness between stars. Now they travel alone, invisible, silent, and cold, warmed only by the faint heat left from their formation. There may be billions of these rogue planets scattered throughout the galaxy. each one following its own quiet path through the dark. And as your breathing slows even further, your thoughts becoming softer, you begin to understand that the galaxy is not defined only by what is bright and visible. It is shaped just as much by what is hidden, by the faint stars, the invisible matter, the distant remnants of ancient events that continue to drift through space. All of it forms a complete structure, balanced and calm, evolving slowly across unimaginable spans of time. And within that vastness, you are still here, resting, breathing gently, carried forward without effort. The Earth continues its quiet rotation beneath you. The Sun continues its long journey around the center. And together, you drift through this immense halo, surrounded by history, held by forces you cannot feel, yet always part of something far greater than yourself, moving softly, endlessly, deeper into the calm of the night. As you drift even deeper, the sense of distance begins to dissolve, and what once felt vast and far away now feels quiet and close, like a soft presence surrounding you. You are no longer following individual stars or distant structures, but the space between them, the subtle fabric that connects everything within the Milky Way. Because the galaxy is not only made of stars, it is filled with something far more delicate, a thin, ever-changing medium that stretches between every point of light. This interstellar medium is composed of gas, mostly hydrogen, along with traces of heavier elements, tiny particles of dust, and streams of charged particles that move slowly through space. It is so diffuse that it would seem like nothing at all if you could pass through it. Yet across the enormous scale of the galaxy, it becomes one of the most important parts of its structure. It forms vast filaments, long and delicate strands that weave through space, connecting regions that appear separate at first glance. In other places, it gathers into dense clouds, dark and cold, where the seeds of future stars quietly begin to take shape. And in some regions, it has been pushed outward, forming enormous cavities, like bubbles expanding slowly through the galaxy, created by events that happened long ago. These structures are not static. They shift, stretch, and evolve over time, shaped by the continuous flow of energy and matter moving through the galaxy. When massive stars reach the end of their lives, they release energy into the surrounding medium, sending waves outward that travel across vast distances. These waves compress the gas they encounter, sometimes triggering the slow formation of new stars. In this way, the galaxy does not simply exist, it breathes, not with air, but with matter itself, cycling material through different states over millions and billions of years. And as this quiet cycle continues, the composition of the galaxy gradually changes. Each generation of stars creates heavier elements through nuclear fusion, elements that did not exist in the early universe. When those stars return their material to space, they enrich the interstellar medium, adding carbon, oxygen, iron, and countless other elements that will one day become part of new stars, new planets, and perhaps even new forms of life. This means that the galaxy today is not the same as it was billions of years ago. It has evolved, becoming more complex, more rich in the building blocks needed for structure and life. And as you rest, breathing slowly, you begin to realize that you are part of that ongoing process. The atoms within your body were formed in earlier generations of stars, scattered across space, and eventually gathered together into something new. You are not separate from this cycle. You are a continuation of it. And as your awareness deepens, another subtle detail begins to emerge. The galaxy does not rotate like a solid object. It does not spin as a single piece. Instead, different regions move at different speeds. Stars closer to the center orbit more quickly, completing their paths in far shorter times than those in the outer regions. This difference in motion creates patterns that are not fixed, but constantly shifting. The spiral arms themselves are not permanent structures. They are more like waves, regions where stars and gas become temporarily denser as they move through them. A star may enter one of these arms, remain within it for a time, and then drift away again, continuing its journey around the galaxy. The structure you imagine when you think of the Milky Way is not a static image. It is a dynamic system, always forming, always dissolving, always rearranging itself in ways that are too slow to notice directly, yet constant across time. And within this flowing system, even our own solar system follows a path that is not perfectly flat. As it orbits the center of the galaxy, it moves gently above and below the galactic plane, rising and falling in a slow oscillation that takes tens of millions of years to complete. This motion is subtle, almost impossible to detect without careful measurement. Yet it is always present, part of the larger rhythm that carries everything within the galaxy forward. And as your thoughts grow quieter, your breathing softer, you begin to feel how calm this immense complexity truly is. Nothing rushes, nothing demands attention. The galaxy unfolds at its own pace, guided by forces that act slowly, steadily, without interruption. Even now, as you rest, gas is drifting, stars are shining, particles are moving through space in ways too subtle to feel. Invisible structures guide everything in delicate balance. And you, without effort, are part of that motion, carried gently forward through a system so vast it cannot be fully imagined, yet so calm it can be felt. In the quiet rhythm of your breath as you drift deeper and deeper into rest. As your thoughts become lighter and more distant, the galaxy begins to feel less like something to understand and more like something to quietly experience. The Milky Way surrounds you completely now, not just as a structure of stars and gas, but as a vast presence filled with layers that cannot all be seen at once. Because most of what exists within the galaxy is hidden, even under the clearest sky, when thousands of stars appear scattered above you, you are only seeing a very small fraction of what is truly there. The Milky Way contains hundreds of billions of stars, yet the human eye can only perceive a few thousand at a time. The rest remain invisible, either too distant, too faint, or obscured by vast clouds of interstellar dust that drift between the stars like silent veils. These clouds block visible light, hiding entire regions of the galaxy from view. Behind them, new stars are forming, gas is collapsing, and energy is moving in ways that cannot be directly observed without instruments.
What appears as darkness is often a place where something is quietly beginning. And as your awareness softens, you begin to notice that even light itself does not arrive instantly. When you look at a star, you are not seeing it as it is now, but as it was when its light first began its journey toward you. Some of that light has traveled for thousands of years, some for millions. In that time, the star may have changed, evolved, or even ceased to exist, yet its light continues to move through space, carrying with it a delayed image of the past. The galaxy you see is always a layered image of time, a quiet blending of moments that never truly existed all at once. And within that layered view, subtle irregularities begin to emerge. The Milky Way is not perfectly symmetrical. It is not a flawless spiral. Some regions are denser, brighter, filled with more stars and activity, while others are more sparse, more open.
The outer edges of the galaxy are gently warped, bending upward on one side and downward on the other, forming a slow, almost imperceptible curve that stretches across tens of thousands of light years. These distortions are not random. They are the result of past interactions, of gravitational influences, of unseen structures that continue to shape the galaxy over immense spans of time. The Milky Way carries its history not in words, but in its form, in the way its stars are arranged, in the way its structure subtly shifts and evolves. And as you drift deeper into stillness, you begin to sense how much of this vast system remains unknown. Even with all the knowledge gathered, all the observations made, there are still questions without clear answers. The exact nature of the unseen matter that holds the galaxy together, the full extent of its outer halo, the detailed structure of its spiral arms. These are not mysteries that disturb the calm of the galaxy. They simply exist, quiet and unresolved, part of a system that does not require complete understanding to continue. And perhaps that is what makes this immense structure feel so peaceful. It does not demand to be solved. It does not need to be explained. It simply is, evolving slowly, carrying everything within it forward through time. And as your breathing becomes slower, more even, you begin to feel your place within it more clearly. You are not outside this galaxy, observing it from a distance. You are inside it, moving with it, part of its ongoing story. The atoms within you were shaped by the same processes that shape the stars. The motion that carries the galaxy forward also carries you, gently, without effort. And as your thoughts begin to fade into quiet, you realize there is nothing you need to hold on to, nothing you need to follow. The galaxy continues its slow turning. The stars continue their quiet motion, and you can simply rest within it, drifting deeper into the calm that has always been there, carried softly through a universe that is vast, quiet, and endlessly at peace. As you drift deeper into the final layers of awareness, everything around you begins to soften into something almost weightless, as if the boundaries between you and the universe have gently dissolved. The Milky Way is no longer something distant or imagined. It is something you are quietly resting within, something that has always been there, surrounding you completely, holding you in a vast and gentle motion that never stops and never rushes. The stars that once felt far away now seem like distant points within a much larger presence, each one moving along its own path, yet all of them part of a shared structure that continues to evolve without effort. And as your breathing becomes slower, softer, you begin to notice that this motion is not something you need to follow. It carries you whether you think about it or not. The earth beneath you continues its slow rotation, turning steadily through the night. The moon moves along its silent orbit, shifting its position in a rhythm that has remained consistent for billions of years. The sun, far beyond what you can feel, travels through the galaxy at incredible speed, carrying the entire solar system along a path that takes hundreds of millions of years to complete. And still, none of this motion feels fast. It feels calm. It feels steady. It feels almost still. Because everything is happening on a scale so vast that even the fastest movement becomes gentle. And beyond this quiet motion, something even deeper begins to settle into your awareness. The understanding that the galaxy does not need to be seen to exist. Most of what surrounds you is hidden, not because it is absent, but because it lies beyond the limits of human perception. Vast regions of space are filled with matter that does not emit light, with structures that can only be traced through their influence, with particles that pass silently through everything without leaving a trace. And yet, these unseen elements shape everything. They guide the motion of stars. They define the boundaries of the galaxy. They hold its structure together across distances so large they cannot be fully imagined. Even now, you are moving through this invisible framework, supported by forces you cannot feel, carried by a balance that does not require your awareness to exist. And as your thoughts continue to fade, you begin to sense the deeper continuity of everything around you. The galaxy is not a collection of separate objects. It is a continuous process. Stars are born from clouds of gas. They shine for millions or billions of years, and then they return their material back into space, allowing new stars to form. Planets gather from the remnants of these processes, orbiting their stars in quiet balance, sometimes creating conditions where life can emerge. And over time, even those systems change, evolve, and eventually return their material to the larger structure of the galaxy. Nothing is permanent, nothing is lost. Everything flows forward, part of an endless cycle that has been unfolding for billions of years and will continue long after any single moment has passed. And within this cycle, you exist not as something separate, but as something formed by it. The atoms within your body were once part of stars that lived and faded long before the Earth existed. The oxygen you breathe, the carbon within your cells, the iron within your blood, all of it was created in processes that belong to this galaxy. You are not outside of it, you are part of it, shaped by the same forces, carried by the same motion, existing within the same vast and quiet system. And as this realization settles gently into your mind, there is nothing left to hold on to. No need to follow every detail. No need to understand every process. The galaxy continues, whether it is observed or not. It unfolds in its own time, guided by forces that act slowly and steadily across unimaginable distances. Even now, somewhere far beyond what you can see, a new star has just begun to form, its light still hidden within the cloud that created it. Somewhere else, an ancient star has quietly reached the end of its life, releasing its material back into the interstellar medium, becoming part of something new once again. These moments are happening constantly in every direction, without sound, without urgency. And you, resting here, are part of that same continuity, carried gently forward through a universe that does not rush, does not pause, and does not demand anything in return. The night deepens, your breathing slows, the edges of your awareness soften completely, and far beyond sight, beyond sound, beyond thought itself, the Milky Way continues to turn, slowly, endlessly, carrying you with it through a vast, quiet, and peaceful universe. As you drift even deeper, beyond the need to follow any single idea, the sense of the galaxy becomes softer, wider, and more complete. As if you are no longer observing it, but quietly dissolving into its endless motion. The Milky Way stretches far beyond anything the mind can hold at once, not only in distance, but in time, because every part of it carries a history that reaches back to the earliest moments of the universe, when the first structures began to form from a nearly uniform field of matter and energy. In those early times, there were no stars, no galaxies, no light as we know it now, only a gradual gathering, tiny variations in density slowly growing under the pull of gravity. Over hundreds of millions of years, those small differences became larger, forming the first clouds of matter that would eventually collapse into the earliest stars. These first stars were very different from those that exist today. They were massive, short-lived, and composed almost entirely of hydrogen and helium, the simplest elements created in the earliest moments of the universe. They burned quickly, shining intensely for only a brief time before ending their lives and releasing heavier elements into the space around them. This was the beginning of everything that followed. With each generation of stars, the universe became richer in complexity. New elements formed, new structures emerged, and eventually, galaxies like the Milky Way began to take shape. But even then, the process was not simple. The galaxy did not form all at once. It grew slowly, through a series of mergers and accumulations, pulling in smaller systems, absorbing their stars, and reshaping its structure over billions of years. Even now, that process continues. The Milky Way is surrounded by smaller satellite galaxies, some of which are gradually being drawn inward, stretched and reshaped by gravitational forces that act over immense spans of time. Their stars are pulled into long streams, wrapping around the galaxy, becoming part of its halo and outer regions. These streams are faint, almost invisible, but they reveal that the galaxy is not isolated. It is part of a larger environment, constantly interacting with the space and structures around it. And as your awareness continues to soften, you begin to sense that even the space between galaxies is not truly empty. It is filled with a thin distribution of matter known as the intergalactic medium, stretching across vast distances, connecting galaxies in a web-like structure that spans the entire observable universe. The Milky Way itself is part of this larger network, moving through space along with other galaxies, all bound together by gravity on scales so large they are difficult to imagine. Our galaxy belongs to a group of galaxies known as the Local Group, a small collection of more than 50 galaxies, all orbiting a common center of mass. Among them is a large spiral galaxy slowly approaching the Milky Way, drawn closer over billions of years. This is the Andromeda Galaxy, and its future path is already set. In about 4 to 5 billion years, it will come close enough for gravity to begin reshaping both galaxies. Their structures will stretch, their stars will pass through one another, and over time, they will merge into a single, larger galaxy. This will not be a sudden collision, not an explosion of chaos, but a slow and graceful interaction, unfolding over hundreds of millions of years. Most stars will not collide directly, because the distances between them are so vast. Instead, their paths will shift, their orbits changing as the combined gravity of both galaxies reshapes everything. New structures will form, new patterns will emerge, and eventually a new galaxy will exist where two once were. And as this future event settles quietly into your awareness, it begins to feel less like something distant and more like part of an ongoing flow. The galaxy is not fixed. It is not permanent. It is a moment in a much larger process, one that continues to unfold regardless of time as we understand it. Even now, the Milky Way is moving through space, carrying its stars, its planets, and everything within it along a path that extends far beyond what can be directly observed. And within this immense motion, something even more subtle continues to shape everything. The expansion of the universe itself, a gentle stretching of space that causes distant galaxies to move away from one another over time. This expansion does not affect the structure of the Milky Way directly, because gravity holds it together. But on larger scales, it defines the overall evolution of the cosmos. It creates a sense of separation between distant structures, slowly increasing the distances between galaxies that are not gravitationally bound. And yet, within this expanding universe, local structures like the Milky Way and Andromeda continue their own interactions, guided by gravity, moving toward each other even as the larger universe stretches outward. And as your breathing becomes slower, your thoughts quieter, you begin to feel how all of these layers exist at once. The early universe forming its first stars, the galaxy growing through mergers and interactions, the present moment where stars continue to shine and evolve, and the distant future where galaxies will merge and reshape themselves once again. It is all part of a continuous flow, a process without a clear beginning or end from your perspective. And within that flow, you are here, resting, carried gently through it all. The atoms within you were shaped by these processes. The motion that carries the galaxy forward also carries you. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to follow. The universe continues on its own, unfolding slowly, quietly, without urgency. And as you drift deeper into that calm, the vastness no longer feels overwhelming. It feels peaceful. It feels steady. It feels like something you can simply rest within as the galaxy continues its endless motion, carrying you softly into deeper and deeper sleep. And now, as you drift into the deepest layer of stillness, where thoughts no longer need to form and awareness becomes soft and quiet, the universe itself begins to feel less like something outside of you and more like something you are gently dissolving into. The Milky Way continues its slow, endless turning, but now it is no longer something to follow or imagine in detail. It is simply there, surrounding you completely, carrying you within its vast and silent motion. Every star you once thought of as distant is part of the same structure that holds you now. Every cloud of gas, every faint particle of dust, every hidden force that shapes the galaxy is part of a system that has been unfolding for billions of years, without interruption, without urgency, without ever needing to be complete. And as your breathing becomes slower and deeper, you begin to sense that this motion is not something separate from you. It is something you are already part of, something that has always included you. Because the atoms that form your body were not created here, not on Earth, not even in the early formation of the solar system. They were formed in stars that existed long before the sun began to shine. Stars that lived and changed and eventually released their material back into the galaxy. Those elements drifted through space for millions, sometimes billions of years, before gathering once again into new forms, eventually becoming part of the cloud that formed the sun and its planets. And from that process, over time, came the conditions that allowed life to emerge. And from that life, you. You are not separate from the galaxy. You are a continuation of it, a moment within a process that has no clear beginning or end. And as this understanding settles gently into your awareness, there is a quiet sense of release. There is nothing you need to hold on to, nothing you need to control, nothing you need to follow. The galaxy does not require your attention to continue. It moves on its own, guided by forces that act slowly and steadily across distances so vast they cannot be fully imagined. Even now, far beyond what you can see or feel, countless processes are unfolding at once. New stars are forming within cold clouds of gas, their light still hidden, their futures not yet written. Older stars are reaching the ends of their long lives, returning their material to the interstellar medium, becoming part of the next generation of structures. Planets are forming, orbiting their stars in quiet balance, some perhaps developing conditions where life might one day appear. And at the same time, other systems are fading, changing, evolving into something new. Nothing remains exactly as it was, and yet nothing is ever truly lost. Everything becomes part of something else, part of a continuous flow that defines the galaxy itself. And beyond the Milky Way, this process continues on an even larger scale. Other galaxies move through space, interacting, merging, reshaping themselves over billions of years. Clusters of galaxies drift together, bound by gravity, forming vast structures that stretch across millions of light years. And beyond those clusters, the universe itself continues to expand, gently stretching the space between distant galaxies, carrying them farther apart over time. And yet, within all of this immense motion, there is a calm that does not change,
a quiet balance that allows everything to unfold without chaos, without urgency, without the need for anything to happen quickly. It is this calm that you begin to feel now, as your thoughts fade further, as your awareness softens completely. The Earth continues its slow rotation beneath you, though you no longer need to notice it. The Moon continues its quiet orbit, though it no longer needs your attention. The Sun continues its long journey around the center of the galaxy, carrying you with it through space at incredible speed, yet so smoothly that it feels like complete stillness. And beyond that, the galaxy itself continues its endless turning, guiding everything within it along paths that stretch across hundreds of millions of years. You do not need to follow these motions. You do not need to understand them. They carry you, whether you are aware of them or not. And as you drift deeper into this stillness, something even softer begins to take shape. A sense that the boundaries between things are not as fixed as they once seemed. The line between you and the space around you begins to fade. The distinction between the observer and the universe becomes less clear. You are not simply within the galaxy. You are part of its structure, part of its motion, part of its ongoing story. The same processes that shape stars have shaped you. The same forces that guide the motion of galaxies guide the movement of everything within you, from the smallest particles to the slow rhythm of your breath. And as this realization settles, there is nothing left to hold on to. No need to think, no need to follow, no need to understand. The universe continues on its own, unfolding quietly, steadily, endlessly. And you are carried within it, gently, effortlessly, without resistance. The night deepens. The sense of motion fades into something even softer. The stars, once distant and bright, become part of a quiet background that no longer needs to be observed. The vastness that once felt unimaginable now feels calm, steady, almost comforting. And within that calm, you can allow yourself to let go completely. There is nothing to do, nothing to follow, nothing to hold. The Milky Way continues its slow and endless turning. The universe continues its quiet expansion, and you, carried gently within it all, drift deeper and deeper into rest, into stillness, into a peaceful silence where everything continues exactly as it should, without effort, without urgency, endlessly and calmly.